everyone. Welcome to the Women's Broadcast Television Network Spotlight Show. We have part 2 of Elaine Cooper. We're so excited to have Elaine with us again. If you missed our first part, be sure to watch that. She tells us all about her story, and she's just an amazing woman. So remember, Elaine Cooper is your better living coach. She has been called the guru for making practical eating and lifestyle adjustments, taking the hassle out of healthy. So welcome, Elaine. Today we're going to learn, I guess, about the ground up. Tell us all about it.
The meaning of what I'm talking about when I say that, from the ground up, I will support you. And today it's all about the tower garden. Can you hear that running in the background?
I can.
My aeroponic garden, and it's actually watering itself. I don't have to get out there with my hose or my can.
Wow.
Watering itself. The lights are off right now because it's a bit glary. When I have it inside in my condo, I have a lighting system. You can see those tall strips. Well, that's the lighting system, and I can grow all year round. Now, I've just brought it in from being outside. I'm a Canadian weather weenie, and it's much too cold out there for some of the things that are on the towers. So today I want to show you what I do with this thing. Now, my background is from the agricultural community, so my green thumbs have always been just a little bit twitchy. And at one point in time, I said to my kids, make sure if I'm ever sitting in a wheelchair, and if you hear my story, you'll hear why I said that. Oh, mom, don't talk about that. But that's where my health was going. I said to them, make sure I have a sunny window and something to plant. I have no problems anymore.
That is nice.
I have no intention on being in a wheelchair. So this is one of the things that I've always loved to do, was to garden, bring the passion of gardening and keeping things growing. And I have a program actually, it's called Get Up and Grow. And I'm actually teaching children how to plant a tower garden, as well as adults and seniors. And I have actually a crowdfunding platform where I want to get those towers in front of more kids and seniors. I want to get them into food banks. So
what is that website real quick?
The website, I will give you a link to that because it's rather lengthy and my 5-year-old brain isn't remembering all of it, but I will give you the link to post for everybody.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So here goes. Seeds are different sizes, right? So you have small, tiny seeds, and you have really big seeds. So for the tower, you need a medium. For when you're planting something, you need a medium for them to grow in, and there's no soil in my tower. None.
Oh, wow.
It's just water. That's the water that's shooting up the center and showering down over the roots with water to hydrate them and nutrients, which are earth minerals, to nourish. And like I said, it's on a timer every 15 minutes. Well, not every 15 minutes, 15 minutes every hour inside. Every 15 minutes outside, but not to worry about that if that's something you're interested in, because the manual comes with all the instructions. We were just talking a few minutes ago about being Geminis. So as a Gemini, I had to try to reinvent things and figure things out for myself when all else fails. Read the manual. It's simple, and I've done so many goofs, but that's okay. That's what I needed to do. So I have these little blocks. They separate, and you can pop the seeds in and then cover them with vermiculite or not. If there's a lot of seeds, a lot of little seeds, then you put a lot. If there are large seeds, you put 1 or 2. So that's what I've done here. I'm going to bring forward a calendula. Calendula is an edible flower, and you can actually eat the petals. I'm not sure if you can see the yellow on the tower behind me, but that's actually a calendula that's in bloom and is just bloomed out, and it's perfect timing because I have a women's retreat that I'm doing all the food for, so I'm going to do fancy stuff with it. So these are the roots hanging down here. You can see them against my sweater. These are the roots that are being showered right now in each section of that tower. And there's actually 5 sections on there. It all comes down. Like, I'm not much more over 5 foot, so I can't handle that thing if it doesn't come apart. And it does. It comes apart wonderfully. So I'm actually going to have blooms on this. It's going to be opening just in time for the retreat. So this is an edible flower, calendula, C-A-L-E-N-D-U-L-A. And I can take those petals and I can pretty up a salad, or I can pretty up a plate. All I have to do is just sprinkle them over the food. Now they have a little bit of a peppery taste, and they're quite palatable. And they're safe, they're edible. Not all plants, like I say to the kids, not all plants are edible, so don't go out and just pick something that you don't know without mom and dad's permission. I also have something a little more common. I have a cucumber here. Oh. So this is what they sit in. From going into the little cubes, they go into the little black pots. Can you see that? I'm going to bring it. I can. There's actually some roots that have always started out of the side of that. And that's what the tower is showering right now. It's kind of timely that came on while we're talking. So this is a cucumber. Now, to grow the cucumbers inside, I have to make like a bumblebee. No, I don't put on a bumblebee suit. That was my second late husband that thought I would do that. He didn't have a green streak in his body anywhere. But he was besmirched with laughter when my brother and I, who are, used to growing things, were wondering what was happening with the tomatoes. They were deformed. They were this, they were that. It was like, okay, they need some more pollination. So my brother was talking about going out into the garden and shaking the tomato plants. He was very quiet until my brother had left. And then he started laughing. And I said, what is the matter with you? He had a great sense of humor. He said, I can just see you out there, you and your brother. My brother, get this, 6'4".
Oh, wow.
Precautions on shaking those tomato plants. So I, inside now, have to pollinate the tomato and the cucumber plants if I want them to grow inside. And then keep them trimmed back so they don't totally take over I'm living in a condo, so they don't take over the kitchen. These are the last of the little tomatoes that I picked off the tomato.
They're beautiful.
Side. End of season. Yeah, we can still grow them in Canada. We don't all live in igloos. I have things, and I grow that grow really, really well. This is parsley. There's cilantro. There is beautiful basil. Look at the size of these basil leaves. They're crazy.
Wow.
And did you know that basil is a breath freshener?
Oh, I did not know that, but I love basil.
But there's one thing you have to watch out for. The green in your teeth.
Hope you have a really good friend to tell you, you've got green in your teeth.
Well, I've gotten into the habit of looking before I go on camera.
That's smart.
Before I get out of my car. Do I have any green? I may have snitched some of this before I left. But that's the fun of having this thing in the kitchen. I can reach back and get greens. And that's the other thing that grows really well on there. You can actually see, I'm going to pick it. I'm just going to go into the tower, and I'm going to grab a couple of leaves. And this was very timely because look at this. This is Swiss chard.
Wow.
Look at the leaves on this thing. You can throw
gorgeous.
Now, how freaking fresh is that?
Oh.
I can make wraps, and I often do. I do crush the stem. The stem is pretty tough, so I just tear it off, throw it into my little baggie in the freezer, and use it for soup. Use it to make broths. And then crush down, I just, hammer this down a little bit, and then I use this as a wrap.
Nice.
Easy?
Easy, yes.
It has to be practical, and it has to be easy. Or, because we're so busy as entrepreneurs, we're not going to do it. So these are simple, easy. Here's a quick, fast wrap. I can put whatever I want into it, if it's a meat mixture or if it's a completely vegetarian or vegan mixture. It's fresh, 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 and I have all of the micronutrients. So one of the other things that I love to grow on the tower too, and I'm going to be starting some new ones because I have a topiary of rosemary that's coming in, and I'd like to give these as gifts, is rosemary.
Oh.
See that?
Yes, beautiful.
Oh, you can smell it. It is so wonderful, and it actually helps improve concentration. As a Gemini with a fibro brain, a fibromyalgia brain, I need focus and concentration to do some of my stuff.
I was just thinking how beautiful your condo must smell.
It does. And
yeah.
4-year-old grandson that I was talking about earlier on the first part, they borrowed my car because I needed to borrow theirs. It was bigger than mine and was hauling stuff around. And when he got into it, he said, "Oh, it smells like Grandma's house."
Aww.
I'd had some of my plants, my herbs and so forth. So I'm thinking,
love it.
I've been called names over my lifetime. And one of them, when I was doing some wellness workshops in the US, was a hippie.
A hippie.
I was called a hippie. And I turned and I looked at it because it took me by surprise. I turned to the gal and I said, "I can't be a hippie. I'm not old enough." That was my But I never thought of it that way. I want to share with you a really simple tip. I call it my cup of magic. And why is because I was given this teacup from some family members that had visited Disney. And they brought this back with me with a little tea ball and a little cup to keep my tea warm, because I love my herbal teas. And one of the easiest things to integrate into your diet is herbal teas.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like the tastes of all of them, well, try different ones, and you can get variety packs to actually find one that you like. So that if you're drinking 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day, replace 1 cup per day with an herbal tea that you like. Now this one I call my cup of magic because my health conditions, I need to look out for inflammation. And to do that, I have my brew in the morning that I simply make. Now you can get the powdered varieties, but I just love using the fresh. This is ginger, fresh ginger, and I actually toss it in the freezer. So when it is frozen, right now it's kind of mushy because it's been out for a little bit, but when I toss it into the freezer, it makes it super easy to grate.
Ah, what a great tip.
Tiny little grater. And I put it over my cup or my teapot. It's usually over my teapot because I have this little strainer. So I grate it over that so the pieces aren't right in the cup. And there you go. There's one. Now, turmeric. If you've never seen fresh turmeric, it looks a little bit like doggy doo. It's tiny. It does. It's the root of the turmeric plant. And I'm doing the same thing as I'm just grating that over top of my cup. And so I have some in the little strainer. And what it looks like, well, I can show you what it looks like actually with a clear cup. There's a bit of tint to it. See that? It's a little yellowy. But what I also do when I'm steeping it is I have 2 secret ingredients in there so that the turmeric will work properly, so that your body will absorb the turmeric. I use ground pepper.
Ah.
So I have some peppercorns that I just toss in the strainer, and I don't put it right directly in my coffee cup, or my teacup, sorry. I just let everything steep like this. Go the other way. Everything on TV to be reversed.
Yeah.
And Himalayan salt. Now, Himalayan salt for the minerals, pepper to help the turmeric, help your body absorb the turmeric, and turmeric is infamous for helping to control inflammation. in the body. And all of the modern type 2 diabetes, cancer, heart disease, and all of those things, you'll see that inflammation is that one common factor.
Oh, wow. It's very good for you.
So it's really nice. And I like this hot on a day like today, which is kind of cool outside, or cold, and I'll make a big pot, like a huge pot, and pop it in the fridge for the summertime. So that is my cup of magic that I have with me every morning, and that's how I get my day started.
That sounds delicious.
Simple. You can use the powdered turmeric, you can use the powdered ginger if you want, but just make sure that you have some ground pepper, some peppercorns that you can steep into your teapot.
Because that helps your body digest that turmeric.
Absolutely. It helps your body grab it and make a difference in what's going on inside and helping your metabolism. So from growing my own in a tower garden, you can see that it's gone off now, to finding out simple things that I could do to improve my health, empowered me, and I hope they have empowered you to grab that tip and just integrate that one thing this week.
You also have another thing. You have a free tip that people can sign up for online, that one thing you can do in the morning that'll help you feel better in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I want to remember.
Now, the hint, I'll give you one hint. I'm terrible. I'm a Gemini. I hate even keeping secrets. It has something to do with this, but you don't have to have one to do it.
I love it, love it. And we're also going to add the crowdfunding information too, because I think every child should have, or every family should have one of those towers. The reason I say that is because I love herbs, and you know that. I told you that earlier. I have lots of herbs growing, but we're in Texas, and it gets 110 degrees outside. And so I tried bringing my herbs inside so they wouldn't burn. Then they just wanted to wilt because I brought them inside. And so by the time, end of August, all my herbs were gone. And I miss my bruschetta that I make. I miss all those great things that herbs just give that, that's cilantro.
I'm going to zap down all of this parsley and stuff that you could use for your bruschetta.
Now you're making us jealous. Now you're just showing off.
I confess, I love sharing this because it is so easy to do, and you can. I have colleagues in the hot states, and when I went through what part of Texas are you from?
I'm in Dallas.
You're in Dallas. I went to Dallas one year. It was in August, and I thought, this is really weird. In the bus, we were going through with the sales management team, and it was like, there's nobody outside. What's going on? Well, when I stepped off the bus, it was like a sauna outside. I said, just the bus in Canada in February, January, minus, 1,000.
Yeah, it gets cold up there.
Yes, the extreme temperatures. So
So I love your tips, because anyone can do this. This is inside, and we all have an inside, most of us. And
so I have a large inside. I have a condo. I've got patio doors behind there, but for today they've been closed down just because. But you don't have to have the sun from the patios. There's actually the light system on there. Do you mind if I turn it on?
I would love, show us.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
That's what the lighting system looks like. There's 4 of them. There's 4 of them here. So it all around is getting the benefit from it. And if I lift the cover up top here, you would be able to see inside. There's like, this section has holes in it. So that's where it showers down over these sections. And it's just so fresh. Here's some kale. Everybody has heard about kale. Here's some kale, a Swiss chard here. I have cilantro growing, started up there. I actually had basil plants I had them over last winter from last fall. They were on my tower for 16 months.
Wow.
being a soil grower, you can't get that kind of season unless you're in a temperate climate. But with the extreme temperatures like you and I have, basil would just wither and die.
Yes.
So here's some kale for you.
Oh, wow, that is phenomenal. And you also have a coaching practice. So let us know a little bit more about that. I know we covered a lot of it on our first video, so remember to watch Elaine's first video. But for those that can't watch that first video, please tell us a little bit about your coaching practice and how they can find you.
Well, you can find me all over the place, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and come in and say hi. Let me know on Facebook, friend me, and let me know that this is how we met, was through your show, Jayne. And my website is www.yourbetterlivingcoach.com, and that's where you can get the free report. If you want to get more information about the Tower Garden, I have a Tower Garden site as well. It's Elaine Cooper, my name, ELAINECOOPER Tower Garden, all one word, TOWERGARDEN.ca for Canada. So you can go in there, you can actually see a time-lapse video on how quickly all of this actually grows. And you can message me there as well. So I support those from the ground up that need or want to make changes. Now I say need, but you gotta want to make changes to your eating and lifestyle habits. If you want to make practical changes, I take away the should and the shouldn'ts to really take the hassle out of that word healthy. You know, you've heard it from mom, you've heard it from dad, you've heard it from probably the media, unless you've been living in a rabbit hole. You know all the things that we should and shouldn't do, but how do you make it happen in your own household? Well, that's where my report comes in. How would you like to have simple, easy tips that you can integrate into your life, as easy as growing your own to, now my background is in agriculture, and I was self-sufficient on 200 acres like a million years ago. That's what it feels like today. But as a saucy seasoned midlifer, I'm not digging, I'm not hauling, I'm not going to be getting out there. So it's a really easy way to bring it in so that I can have fresh, green garden goodness all year round. I do toss it out in the summertime. We do have some nice summer weather here. We did this year. So if you want any more information, you can get in touch with me. I would love to offer you, and you will see that through my website, not only my free report. Remember, it has something to do with that, but you don't have to have that to do the other. And you will get a complimentary 30-minute clarity call to discover what your next steps could be to help improve your energies, to help to give you that energy that you want, to have some fun in your life. We gotta have fun. You know, let's put the F back into fun.
That's wonderful. And the F back into great food, right? Because it's, yes, because I mean, eating healthy, people think, oh, you know, you hear the vegan and you hear that, but you don't have to eat like that to be healthy.
You don't have to be all one or the other. I call myself a real foodist now. I studied over 100 different dietary theories in my taking my certification.
Wow.
But there's not one that's good for everybody. And it was really interesting to see even the people that were taking it, you know, some were Ayurvedic, some were vegan, raw vegan, some were vegetarian, some were a pescatarian. You don't have to go all one way to be healthy. And it doesn't have to be weird. It tastes darn good too.
Right. Oh, well, thank you so much again. I mean, again, Elaine has another video on WBTVN to watch that, more about her story. And in this video, I really appreciate you coming back on the show, so you could give everyone some tips and tell us about your tower. And you're just a beautiful person, beautiful soul. I thank you for your service to all human beings. And thank you for being on the Women's Broadcast Television Network. We will have Elaine back on. Be sure to go to her website and download that free report. It's very important. I mean, something easy we can do in the morning to feel better in the afternoon. We should all be online downloading that. So thank you so much, Elaine, and have an awesome day.
You are very welcome. Bye, everybody.